Patterson Park Church is celebrating our 75th anniversary. Our theme is A Legacy of Faithfulness, God's Hand Over 75 Years of PPC. Ours is a rich history rooted in faith, growth, and service. Let's take a field trip, a journey through time as we go back to 1950 and trace our history for the last 75 years. Here we are on Spring Hill Avenue in Kettering, Ohio. This is the site of the first worship service for the newly established Patterson Park Brethren Church. This is the home of Ivan Ashworth. How does it look 75 years later? But the group of believers met here for the very first time. They met in homes for like 2 years before they outgrew the space and had to move on to a larger facility at the Belmont Elementary School. Let's go there next. So here we are at the Belmont Elementary School on noisy Smithville Road. When it became impractical for the young congregation to meet in homes, they began renting this facility behind me. They met here for a couple years, but they sure were anxious to move to their permanent home at the corner of Patterson and Schroyer Road. Let's go there now. So the young Patterson Park Brethren Church moved from Belmont Elementary to their own home space here on the corner of Schroyer and Patterson Road. They had purchased 3 lots years earlier. They were excited to have their own building here on this property. They broke ground in 1952 and worshiped in this building that you see here, which is an educational building, and they also had worship services here. They soon realized that this building was not conducive to worship. They were outgrowing it, so in 1961, they added a sanctuary, and you can see that sanctuary right here. For the next 30 years, this is our permanent home. We added onto it a couple times. This was the place where Dayton Christian Schools was established in 1963. In 1978, we changed the name from Patterson Park Brethren Church to Patterson Park Church. We wrote and established a 5-year plan, and then we added on to this worship center in 1982. During those years, the congregation flourished. We took on many international mission partners during those years. By the late 80s, we were experiencing some serious growing pains at our Dayton location. The neighborhood wasn't happy with us parking all over. We didn't have enough parking. We talked about expanding the facility, but the city wouldn't let us, so we made the decision to move east. We came to Beaver Creek and bought this 13-acre property where we are right now, 3655 East Patterson Road. We broke ground in 1991, and in 1992 had our first services in our 100,000 square foot facility, phase 1, here at this location. We loved our new location here in Beaver Creek. The Family Life Center, which is behind me, became our primary worship space. We used it for Awana clubs, we used it for our worship services, we used it for banquets and for education, along with the adjacent educational building, the 2-story building to my left. But it became really tedious to have to set up chairs and tear down chairs every week. We had to set up a platform, an orchestra pit, run a piano up a ramp. By the first decade of the new millennium, we realized that it was time to expand once again. In the late 2000s, we began construction of our Phase 2 Worship Center, which you can see behind me. When we moved into this facility, it eased a lot of the congestion with our ministries and especially with our worship services. Roughly the same time, we completed a new industrial kitchen. We completely renovated the underground basement underneath the worship center. It was an exciting time here at the church. Let's go inside and take a look. Here we are in our new lobby. We call this Central Park. This is a great space for fellowship for people to gather. You can see over here our welcome area where new guests can find out about our church. Right here is our welcome desk, which is kind of the nerve center of our church on Sunday mornings and during the week. Behind Marcia here is the coffee bar, so folks can get a cup of coffee before they enter our worship services. Let's go take a look at our worship center. Here we are in our worship center where we meet for our services on Sunday morning at 9 and at 10:30. This is where we find ourselves today here in 2025, our 75th year. Wow, that was fun, tracing God's faithfulness over the last 75 years. Today, we are a debt-free congregation that focuses on worship and discipleship and missions. We're excited to think about the next 75 years as we continue to fulfill the mission of Patterson Park Church, to know Christ, to grow in Him, and to go in service to Him.